welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Jahan, and today I am doing a first impression of the new Glossier Stretch Foundation. So if you like this type of thing, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe because it really helps my channel. So Glossier came out with their first ever true foundation, not a skin tint but a foundation, and this is something they said they've been working on for the perfect formula for the last 7 years. So I think people were, I don't know, mildly excited, I would say, because I feel like Glossier's dropped off the radar a little bit since brands like Rare Beauty have come out. So it kind of has dropped off a little bit, but I'm hoping this will be a re-insurgence for them, and I hope this is a good one because I like their skin products, I like their face products. I use their skin tint. For reference, this is the skin tint I use in colour 6, and I will just show you the consistency of this so you should remember. So the Glossier Perfecting Skin Tint is a very liquid, as you can hear, foundation, skin tint, sorry, not foundation. And I'll just put a little bit on my hand here. So you can see it's that kind of watery skin tint, very much a skin kind of like just something that's to even out your skin, not really that buildable, and just to even out your skin tone to get that natural skin finish. It's also very oily, so sometimes us oily girls struggle with this, even though this is something I put in my makeup just as a, I don't know what to wear, I'm nipping out, I want something across my skin, and my dermatologist always told me to put something on because it helps, even after sunscreen, it helps fight pigmentation, just to put another tint on your skin if that's what you're trying to work with. So I've used this for years and years and years, and coped with some of the oiliness. Halfway through the day you do start to feel really oily, but it's something you can reapply quickly, but it's not that comfortable. But we're here to talk about this. This is the Stretch Foundation. I'm so excited for this because I've been trying this ever since they announced this was coming out. So it comes in this bottle, which is 30 millilitres or 1 fluid ounce, and it's quite a nice bottle. It's quite chunky, nice silver top, just in comparison to the skin tint. That's what it looks like. So that's the difference in the packaging. I think they've reformulated their stretch concealer as well, but I've got 2 pots of that already upstairs, and I've never been a massive fan of their stretch concealer. I use it more as a like a pot of foundation, just because I can spread it a lot, because that is very oily. Maybe their new stretch concealer is less oily, but for me, I'd like to go into the store in Covent Garden and try that out first. Nothing on my face at the moment. I'm just gonna put a pump on the back of my hand just to compare texture. And yes, you can definitely tell here that there is a completely different texture. This is definitely more runny, and this is just a typical foundation, thicker, much thicker texture. It is a pump here as well, a nice clean pump, so easy to dispense too. I was quite a bit worried that when I saw this silver lid, it was going to be a screw top and you had to tip, but I'm great that the pump's included. So what I'm going to do, I'll bring you in a bit closer and I will give you my first impressions on my face. So absolutely nothing on my skin at the moment, just a bit of moisturiser actually, not even sunscreen actually, because I have just woken up. I've been wanting to desperately try this. I've had this for about 2 weeks now, and I wanted to use it, but I haven't had time to film video because I've just been so busy the last few months and things. I will give you a little update, but I've been desperate to try this. So just before I put this on my face, this comes in, I think, in about 35 different colours. The deepest and the lightest shades don't still look as deep and as light as in other shades. I'm sure there are many other reviews out there with deeper shades and lighter shades of skin shades, so I'm sure somebody else will be able to comment. But just looking on their website, it doesn't look like they have like the deepest skin tones or the lightest or palest skin tones. So I think maybe there's still some work they can do around there. They've notoriously not been great with their colours, but they have tried to be more inclusive than they have been before with their shade ranges. And I think, again, with the as with the tint, the stretch, because its foundation can cover a couple of shades. So when you go online, you do like a skin test thing, and it can tell you what you were most likely to match up with based on pictures and that kind of thing, and also based on what you wear in the skin tint. So I've gone with colour medium tan 3, sorry, which is the best that lines up with the colour 6 in the foundation, in the tint foundation. According to that, this should be a good colour match. It's 89% skincare based, and it's a gel cream foundation. It says it leaves the skin moisturised with a natural finish, and never cakey, and to blend seamlessly and last 12 hours. Crease resistant, sweat resistant, vegan, transfer resistant and cruelty free apparently. So lots of talking there. Let me put it on. Again, this is the shade difference. So the foundation, which is this side, is medium tan 3, and this is the skin tint in colour 6. So there is a bit of a difference there. I would say this one has got a bit more of like a golden undertone. I don't know. This one maybe has a bit more of a golden undertone. But there is a bit of a shade difference there, even though it said on their site that if you wear colour 6, this will be the best match for you. But let me have a go. I'm going to put this on my face with, should I use a brush first? Let's try a brush on this side. So let's blend that out. So the shade match for my neck and things is absolutely perfect. Like literally perfect. It's completely seamless. Just using a Real Techniques brush here. I'm just going to do half my face with a brush, another half with my hands, because that's how I would usually do my skin tint. I know it's a different formula, but I was just interested to see what it would be like. It feels really nice on my skin. It feels really, really lovely on my skin. I don't know if you can see here, this is the side with the foundation and this is the side without. So you can see how it's evened out my skin and it's left quite a nice glow on my skin, but it doesn't feel greasy at all, like literally at all. It feels, my skin feels moisturised but not oily, not that emollient, heavy, kind of oily feeling that you get with some foundations. It doesn't feel like that at all. This gel, you can tell it's gel based. It's really, feels really lovely. I'm going to try on this side with just my fingers, put a couple of bits on my fingers. I just wanted to try with my fingers just to see if I can get a bit more of what the texture feels like. And it does feel like a gel cream completely. So that was one pump across my whole face. It spreads really nicely. So using my fingers, I don't think changed up how it looks too much. It's pretty much similar coverage. But I've just been able to feel what the foundation feels like, and it feels so good. It feels incredibly light. It feels like I don't have anything on my skin right now, but I obviously do, and it feels so lovely. I think it looks really good as well. So this is what it looks like on the skin. It's evened it out. You can still see some pigmentation marks as well. So I will do another like half pump and see what it feels like just to layer it. But my first impressions is that this feels absolutely amazing. It feels so good. I've just put another half pump on the back of my hand here. I'm just going to try and pump up this one. I'm just going to put another layer on this one, see what it looks like. So it's definitely buildable and you definitely get more coverage, but once you build it, I think it starts to then really look like foundation, so it doesn't sit as nicely on the skin. So it is a medium coverage foundation already, so my suggestion would be, rather than building up on a couple of layers on the skin, I would then start to spot conceal. So if you can keep that natural look, if that's what you are looking for, if you like that kind of built up look. It does say not cakey, but I wouldn't describe it as cakey, but I would say it just very much looks like you've got foundation on once you build up past one layer. But it still leaves a really beautiful finish. So this is 2 layers and this is 1 layer. So I think with the 2 layers, I think it looks nice on camera, but in person, it looks heavier, but doesn't necessarily actually feel too heavy. It feels actually still quite nice, and it is kind of dry to touch too. This is a really nice, really nice foundation. My first impression of this is incredibly positive. I'm going to do the rest of my face. Well, not the rest of my face. I'm going to put some blush on top. I'm going to put on, what other blush have I got? I'm going to use the Makeup by Mario blush stick, and I've got the colour Raspberry here. I love this colour, it's like this bright pink. I'm going to put a bit on my brush, that's how I like to do it. Also got the contour sticks of these. I've done a review of them, and now it doesn't twist up. The problem with the Makeup by Mario stuff is the packaging. It just feels so cheap for the amount you'll pay for it. So I'm just going to put a bit of this to see how it works. This is so bright, this colour. I love this colour. And on top of putting makeup on top, it feels really lovely. It's kind of sticking the blush to my face, but without feeling tacky. So you can see with the blush on, the foundation still looks really natural. This is the side that's got 2 layers on, and this is the side with 1. So it still looks really natural on the face. I really like this foundation. I think this is going to be my go-to. I love base products so much. They're probably the most expensive part of your regime when you're looking for makeup wise, and it's really hard sometimes to find good foundations, especially when you're buying online. But this, I think this is gorgeous. I really love it. I love the feel. I love how it's making my skin look. It's got really nice coverage. It retails for £32 in the UK, so I'd say it's definitely not drugstore price, but not the most expensive. If you want to wait till November, Glossier always do a Black Friday sale where they take 10% off, and you also get 10% off your first order with a new email as well with Glossier as well, so do with that as you will. I think I managed to get 10% off this with a new email address, so you can do that with Glossier too. But I would definitely, if you're looking for a new foundation, definitely consider this one. It's a really nice foundation, and as the light's hitting my skin from the natural light, you can just see it's so smoothing. It's a really pretty foundation. I would definitely only do 1 layer though, because I think for me, the way I like to wear my makeup, 2 layers starts to look more like makeup for me, because it is a proper foundation. I don't usually wear foundation, so for me it feels very different. But I think it's a really lovely foundation. My first impression is a definite big thumbs up for the Glossier Stretch Foundation. I'd love to know if you yourself have tried the Stretch Foundation or the new Stretch Concealer or anything else from Glossier that you want to shout and rave about in the comments, or what did you think? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Let me know your thoughts below. I will update you once I've worn this for a week or so. I'm going to wear it to work this week, so I will update you, let you know what it's like on the tube and that kind of thing in those sort of hot conditions. And it's going to be really warm in the UK this week. Apparently it's going to be 29 on Thursday, so I will let you know how this wears in the heat. Please leave your comments below, keep chatting, and I will see you in my next video. Take care.